Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now this lesson is going to be based on a mother and her two children who died in a Ashtabula County apartment fire. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. It says flames are out after firefighters from multiple jurisdictions were on scene of a fatal residential fire in Austinburg Township through Friday afternoon. The fire broke out on the 2100 block of Jefferson Eagleville Road around 7:30 a.m. Marsha Cooper told Fox 8 News her 25-year-old daughter, Jolene Cooper, 5-year-old granddaughter, Celeste Kershaw, and 3-year-old grandson, Archus Kershaw, were trapped inside and died. Marsha said they were on the second floor of the residence and alternative heat sources were being used to heat the home due to a maintenance issue. Propane tanks may have accelerated the fire spreading rapidly. It was an old barn that was repurposed into apartments. Said 3 others have been treated and released from a local hospital, including a 1-year-old who was thrown from a window to escape the fire. Geneva Fire Department Chief David Shook told Fox 8 that firefighters were still working on hot spots Friday afternoon. He said a state fire marshal had been called to the scene to investigate. Said the area, it's a very narrow road, so any of the stuff we're doing, it's tight, especially with the weather. It makes everything challenging. The deputies from the Ashtabula Sheriff's Department were also on scene assisting. An investigation is underway to determine the exact cause of the fire. Yeah, so yet another fiery judgment from the Lord. And this is an example of why it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Lord, because there was nowhere for them to go. They were on the second floor, and I'm guessing the fire started either on the floor that they were on or underneath them. So it's not like they could go. If it started on the first floor, if it started underneath them, it's not like they could go downstairs. So it's like basically they were trapped. This is scary, man. The Lord constantly shows you that the best thing you can do is fear Him. Hebrews 10:31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, and every day the Lord gives examples of that. These fires, these storms and tempests, the shootings, the stabbings, people getting kidnapped, car crashes, hit and runs. There's a lot of things that take place on a daily basis that is proof of why it is a fearful thing to fall into the Lord's hands. Psalms 9:16. The Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which He executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Hegeon Selah. And that's right, this is the Lord's judgment right here. This fire that resulted in the death of 3 people. And like it says in Romans 2:11, there is no respect of persons with Yahweh. So men, women, children, anybody can get judged if that's what the Lord wants. And you see in this judgment, The Lord did not discriminate. 25-year-old woman, I'm guessing her, let me see, her 5-year-old, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. So it didn't, the Lord didn't care about that. He brought judgment upon them because in his eyes they were worthy of receiving that judgment. And there was nothing that could have been done to save them. Ecclesiasticus 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Verse 29. Fire, and hail, and famine, and death, all these were created for vengeance. Verse 30. Teeth of wild beasts, and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. And that's what happened. That woman and those 2 kids got punished to destruction via that fire. Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I am he, and there is no power with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. And there was nobody that could have saved them. It doesn't matter how fast the police showed up, or the firefighters showed up, or the medics showed up. Nobody would have been able to save them because the Lord wanted them to die. And that may sound harsh, but that is the reality of these situations. First Samuel 2:6. The Lord Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. And this article that I read was just a primary example of the Lord killing, and also of the Lord not, discriminating or being a respecter of persons. Just because it was a woman and some young children, that didn't prevent them from getting judged, from getting punished, from being killed. Job 4:7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? And the answer is that nobody has perished being innocent, nor were the righteous ever cut off. So that woman and those 2 children were not innocent in the eyes of the Lord. They were wicked, and the Lord brought destruction upon them. Verse 8. Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. And that's what's happening in these last days. Wicked people, wicked men, wicked women, and wicked children are reaping what they've sown, in the form of sore strokes being laid upon them, heavy judgments from the Lord being brought upon them. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 2. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. And for that woman and those 2 kids, it was their time to die. Plain and simple. That's what the Lord wanted. That's what he sent his spirits of vengeance out there to do. And that's what they did. His spirits of vengeance appeased the wrath of him that made them. by executing that judgment. And situations like this are going to continue to happen because these wicked people have to be punished, regardless of who they are. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, the water Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, for putting his spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to our brothers who are still fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. And shalom to the sincere believers. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up. And Adawan Ratazah. Until next time, shalom.